Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici, welcome my friends. My name is Vincenzo and welcome to my channel, and the channel is Fountain Pen Therapy. And yes, happy Fountain Pen Day. Today is a special day. We celebrate it. Us pen enthusiasts or collectors or fanatics celebrate this day, and I thought what better gesture to celebrate this special day than to present to you a beautiful, beautiful pen from my friends at SCRIBO. SCRIBO, a relatively small outfit that started in 2016 when some ex-employees finished their adventure at OMAS and decided to go off on their own. They exemplify excellence. The Made in Italy banner is certainly one that they deserve. Their pens are absolutely gorgeous. I bought my first one several years ago when I was visiting Italy, and I've not had any regrets whatsoever. And Luca reached out and I reached out, and we decided that they were going to present a new collection, and I've been waiting for it for several months, and finally it's here. It's SCRIBO's fourth collection, The Flow, and they were kind enough to send me a pen for me to review. So, you know what, folks? Stay tuned. This is a special, special writing instrument. So, without any further ado, Fountain Pen Therapy presents SCRIBO's fourth collection, The Flow Armonia. The unboxing of this nice surprise that I received, which I received quite fairly quickly, I must say. So here's the box, and once we open the box, you'll know what it is if you've been following my channel. First of all, it's a goodie from SCRIBO. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, it's a regular brown box, but when you open it up, it's got the SCRIBO colors. Feel the writing. www.scritturabolognese.com. I have a little card that's addressed to me with a little letter, which is also very nice, and it looks like a writing sample of the pen they sent me, which is really nice. And this is typically European, I would say, not only Italian, but they really have a tendency to wrap things up really nicely. Now, I've got to return part of this packaging, so I'm going to try to be gentle with it to the extent that I can. I can tell that this is an ink. They had promised they would send me a bottle of ink, and somewhere in here must be the pen box. Here it is. So I'm going to, is there anything else of interest? No, I'm going to leave all this packaging in the box so I can return the pen, unless of course I decide to buy it, which I probably will offer to do if they can provide the right discount. First of all, the bottle of ink. I think I can keep it, so I'll show you what it is. It's one of the inks that I did not have which is the Blue Cosmic Blue. It's a darker blue ink from SCRIBO, which I did not have as part of my collection. So that's a nice thing. We'll put that aside. And here is the writing instrument. Now, how does this open? It opens up right here, this way. Oh, very nice packaging. First of all, what's at the bottom here? Must be their booklet going through maintenance, along with the authenticity and international warranty information. So I will leave that in here. I don't want to mess it up, because if I will return the pen, this pen will have to be... Okay, here we go. So that's it. And here is the pen. Now, can I remove everything without messing up this packaging? That's the question. Maybe not. Or maybe so. I know they usually provide the pen in a kind of a pen wrapper of some sort, made out of leather. Here we go. Wow, here's the pen. Okay, so that was a quick unboxing. Here's the pen. First of all, a little bit about the pen wrap. Very nice touch. Instead of coming in nothing else but the box, they always add this this pen wrap, which is very useful. So we'll put that aside. And here's the pen. Now, as we go through the pen, I'm going to be reviewing some of my notes, because I do want to make sure I cover everything. The first reaction I had is I knew this pen would be ebonite. I was expecting something a little bit lighter than this. I can tell you there's a feel of substantial creation here. It's just absolutely beautiful. I own several ebonite pens, but this is just so unique. And so that's the first thing you note, is this 24 facets. Imagine, it's unique in pen making. Their previous pen had 12 facets. This one has 24. And of course it comes in this matte ebonite, which kind of brings out the 24 facets a little bit better. But I can tell you, the precision on this pen is just fabulous. The trimmings are all in platinum, all engraved, specially engraved, not laser engraved. You've got the SCRIBO branding on the finial there. Nice clip with the SCRIBO name. The center band is also got kind of a little facets. Let me just see if you can see that. But it's got some design there, lines, which makes it just a little bit nicer than just a simple platinum center band. The integration of everything is just absolutely fabulous. There it is. Very, very nice. Now, what else do I need to talk to you about? The fountain pen is almost entirely glue-free. In addition to all the mechanical constraints of the piston filling system, the cap ring is also screwed to the cap body. The SCRIBO logo, engraved with a pantograph and not a laser, is located on the clip. Okay. And the matte finish, of course, brings out all the 24 facets. So it really is just a beautiful, beautiful writing instrument, I can tell you. And just the feel of it in your hands. And we'll take a look at it in a second. So let's try to open up this gorgeous writing instrument. That's one. So less than one, I would say to you. Yeah, 3/4, and it opens up to reveal this gorgeous nib. Now, I chosen once again the flex nib. So it's Feel the Flex. It's a 14 karat nib. But if you go on the website, you can see that the nib selection, I think I counted, and if I'm not mistaken, there are 12 different selections you can make in either 18 karat or 14 karat gold. This is a 14 karat gold edition. Beautiful pen, sits very nicely. It's balanced to perfection. I've got to tell you, there's no slippery section there. That section is so warm with the ebonite, fits really nicely. This the threads here are just done very nicely. Even the step down is well done, so it's not sharp or obtrusive in any way. The integration of this piston knob, the piston, you can, yeah, very nice. And you can tell there's going to be a lot of ink drawn up because there is quite a bit of movement in that piston. It does not have an ink window. Frankly, I've never been one to shy away from acquiring a piston filler just because it had no ink window. I guess it doesn't mean all that much to me. If the ink runs out, it runs out. I always have bottles everywhere, fill it up, and I'm ready to go. So it's not a major consideration for me, but some of you might consider that as a deal breaker. I think that they wanted to maintain that simple and the beauty of this ebonite without breaking it up with an ink window. So there you have it. Very, very nice. In the cap, let's just see what we see in the cap. Yeah, there's an inner lining and there is a step down there that will ensure the sealing. I got the seal of the pen. I got to tell you that in my La Dotta, which is a pen that I use quite frequently for my journaling, which is this one, I've never had a problem, dry nib issues, none whatsoever. I can tell you that you pick up the pen and it writes, and I suspect that this will be nothing different. We'll do some comparisons with other pens, but I wanted to compare it for you with La Dotta here. You can see there is some similarities, but there are some major differences. It does not have that hourglass shape as the previous collection does, as you can see. So this ebonite is what fascinates me, I've got to tell you. Just absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. Does it cap? It does not cap, folks. I mean, it doesn't. And I don't think it's meant to. You don't want to ruin and scratch that matte ebonite finish. You want to keep it just the way it is. I'm really looking forward to writing. The pen is so comfortable, and that nib, if it's anything like my previous Scribo, it's something to look forward to. So there you have it. Very, very nice. Thank you, Luca, for sharing this with us. This is really, really nice. And what I propose now is we do some pen and size comparisons, and then I'll give you some measurements, and then we'll do that writing sample that I'm just absolutely looking forward to. This is making my day, folks. Happy Fountain Pen Day. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back with the pen and size comparison, and what I'd like to point out here is that I've chosen some pens, all Italian pens. I have a Santini, and as you can see, the Armonia, or the flow, is slightly longer. It is longer than my Homo sapien Visconti, and that is a big pen. So we're not looking at a small pen here. It's a pen with some size. Here is my La Dotta, which is approximately, I would say to you, the same size, just maybe a few millimeters shorter, but just barely. This is an Omas Ogaiva. You can see that the Scribo is much longer and girthier, and this is a Peniter with the quill pen and La Bellezza. And as you can see, It is much shorter than the Scribo. So the Scribo, I think, is a perfect size. It's got the slenderness of a comfortable pen, and it's got the length without it being too bulky where it interferes with long writing sessions. So, you know, again, they've made a very, very nice writing instrument. So these are the pens, uncapped and capped. Now here are the pens, uncapped and unposted, and as you can see, it's basically the same size as the La Dotta, although I can see maybe just a slight difference there. It's you know, fairly similar to the Santini here, also to the Homo sapiens. It's substantially longer. Well, not substantially, but it is. You know what? They're all approximately the same size here. Maybe the Alma Sogaiva is a little bit smaller, and of course, all of the pens are bigger than my Peniter. So there you have it. It gives you an idea of the size of that pen, and I'm not going to show you the pens posted because the subject pen does not post. So we will do some measurements and then the writing sample. Be right back. Okay, so we're back with the writing sample. Now, one of the things I wanted to look at is the ink bottles that Scribo have. This has got to be probably the nicest ink bottles that I have in my collection. First of all, they're nice and big and, you know, made out of glass. They've got a slot here so that, so for example, this one here, which is my blue Capri, which by the way, I'm just using to profusion these days. It's one of my favorite inks, and you can pile them up one on top of the other, which is a really nice touch, you know. And I just love these inks. And I went with this blue Cosmico. It didn't have it, so I told Luca. He said, "Look, we want to include an ink for you." I said, "Blue Cosmico should be okay." But I didn't realize how apropos it really is when we speak of this Armonia pen. Take a look at that. The shading and the sheen in this ink, it just brings out the Armonia just beautifully, I think. So I think it's going to be an excellent combination. So there you have it. That's the ink. And let's get to the writing sample. Wow. 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 I got to just close up a little more. That feel the flex fine. So let's do the nib is a Scribo 14 karat. Feel the flex. And it's a fine. An absolute joy to write with, folks. And a camera just doesn't do justice to it. I gotta tell you. Ink. Blue in Italian doesn't take the E. Oh, just incredible. First of all, in terms of how smooth this nib is, folks, it's it's 10 on 10. Hardly any feedback. But there's that scribing sound and feel that, you're writing with a fountain pen. So the feedback is just enough for you to be able to enjoy that scribing sound without affecting the flow in any way. The flow is very wet. Okay, I mean, very, very wet, folks. Very wet. In terms of just the softness of the nib, well, little pressure, more pressure. And I'm not good at this, but as you can see, you can go from fine to almost double broad there. Can you just see the flex? See that? And it just bounces right back. It doesn't affect your daily writing whatsoever. There is no hard start. There is no you don't when you flex it, the feed keeps up. It's got an ebonite feed, so ebonite feed. So no railroading at all. I spelled that wrong. In terms of consistency, what can I say, folks? It's there. It's really there. Let me just, yeah. I mean, I've got to tell you, reverse writing, yeah, wow. One of the smoothest reverse writing nibs that I have in my collection. Probably getting there an extra fine. Look at this. Very nice. I've got to tell you, likes and dislikes. I mean, very few dislikes in this pen for me anyway, but being objective, there's no ink window. Personally, as I mentioned, it's not a deal breaker for me because and it doesn't post. But the likes, the design, and build quality, I think, is just, it's just 10 on 10. The material is just right, the right thing. The matte ebonite makes it so unique. You almost feel like you have a wooden pen in your hands. The nib is just one of my favorite nibs. 10 on 10 for the nib. I just, now the value, it is an expensive pen. It's going for expensive 778 euros. So it is not a cheap pen. But folks, what I've learned over time is that sometimes writing instruments like this are worth every penny. And I can see the enormous amount of work that goes into making a pen like this. Can we all afford 778 euros? Probably not. And do we want to spend that kind of money on a fountain pen? But this is Grail-like quality. You've got to understand. And with that nib, I mean, you'll have many, many days of fountain pen therapy, I can tell you. So there you have it. Let me just sign my review. Now, I'm going to have the joy of writing with this pen for some time until I have to return it. And I think I'm going to enjoy every minute. Thank you very much, Luca, for the opportunity to review this pen. I've been waiting for it to come out for some time. There's no regrets there. It's an absolutely just a fascinating writing instrument. The Scribo quality is there. It's worth every penny. Thank you. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that. It's not a pen for everybody. It's an expensive Italian gem. That's what it is. It goes with the other the other gems that are out there from Italy. The Visconti, Homo sapien. It's the pens that form part of our Grail pen collection, if you will. And this one is just another one that's been added to my collection if I buy it. Luca, make me a good deal now. Okay. Here we go. So thank you very, very much for joining me. Grazie molto, Luca. Molto gentile. Congratulations on this 4th collection. And I hope that my viewers enjoyed this. Enjoy your pens. Fountain pen therapy for all of us. Ciao.